Good morning. This is Mr. Rio with the Sociology Wednesday 9:30 a.m. Zoom meeting, and this here is primarily targeted at the C group, the people who don't get to in-person class till Thursday or Friday, who should have been checking Google Classroom and working on their stuff all week, going back to at least Monday. And also if anybody was absent Monday and Tuesday. If you were in the H group and you were in class Monday and Tuesday, you're welcome here, of course, but I probably am covering things you already heard in class. So without further ado, there may be some people joining me here. There may not be. Some people just watch the recording because they have other conflicts with other Zoom meetings. Everyone should be on top of everything that's going on. No excuses if you are not. Okay, because between Google Classroom and the Zoom meetings and the in-person, everything is thoroughly covered. And of course, you got questions anytime you can ask. But either way, I'm going to keep this kind of short today, just kind of touch on, what's going on and what you should be aware of, especially since we have our first test this week. So right now I'm going to go over to our Google Classroom, and here's our Google Classroom. There's the Zoom meeting today. One thing I also did up here for those that want to watch recordings, if you go into the classwork and the contact info, right above my regular contact info is the Zoom Recordings YouTube channel. So if you click on this and open it up, you can go find any of the Zoom meetings that you missed. Now that includes ones I do for other classes too. So you'd have to look for your class. Like here's a sociology one from last week. Okay. So if you miss any of them, you can go ahead and go in there and look that up. But this week here, what do we have going on? We have a number of things going on. First of all, don't forget that's two things from last week carried into this week. One is the sociology slides. So if you're counting on doing this in class, there will not be enough time to do this in class and do a good job. So you should have your slides mostly, if not entirely, done before you get to class tomorrow. Okay, so you knew that last week. There's no surprise there. Remember, this class is only partially in person. The rest you have a responsibility to do on your own. And it's not hard. So there's no excuses. You can sit. Actually, if you had done no slides at this point, you could sit down and in 2 hours knock out a really good job and do a fantastic job on the slides. I also put a new sample for the slides. Let me show you. The other one was good. This one's a little better, I think. Remember, you have to, you pick a theme. Most people are using Google Slides. If you really want, you can use PowerPoint, but from here on in, you're going to hear me always say Google Slides. You pick a theme, so your theme might look a little different, or maybe you do a custom background for each one if you got a lot of creativity and time. Put in like a nice title with your name. Find some image that goes with it somehow. I'm not real picky, but, use some common sense. Then for each slide, you're going to be putting in the definition. Now up in the title part is going to be where the key term or question is. So if you're copying and pasting from the PDF, make sure you do that separate. I had some students get lazy and they just try to put it all down here together because they're too lazy to do it the right way. And of course I mark them down because there's no excuse for that. Okay. The key term or concept from each number goes up here, and then the definition goes down here. Okay. So, okay. And then images, do your best. Some of them are real obvious. Like if it's a person's name, you look up a picture of that person or whatever. And if it's not, you just look up some images that might go with it. Do searches for sociology or anthropology or whatever the term is. Or if you have an idea what kind of image might go well with it, you can do other type of searches. I do that all the time. Now, after you put them all, get all your text on here and find at least one image per slide for full credit. Don't forget that, even on title slides. Do a nice layout. You might have to resize text boxes and that. Then for your key term, like this up here, make sure you just go through and just kind of randomly mix up the colors. Just, I'll do a red, I'll do a blue, I'll do a green, I'll do a purple, orange, whatever. And just go through and just do it. I mean, you can rotate some of them, so you might come back to some of them several times. But that's way more interesting than if all the key terms are in the same default color. So there's sociology, there's kind of in a blue, and then here's anthropology in like an orange, and there's psychology in a green. And that's part of the assignment too. Economics is in red. And you see this person here did a really nice job. And that's what's expected of you. Okay. So this is a big assignment worth a lot of points. So do a good job. And then, get that in by tomorrow. So you should have it done. You should have pretty much done, they may have a few minutes in class for it, but primarily in class tomorrow, we're not going to be doing this. Okay. So I'm going to go back here a little bit. Okay. So that's the slides, and that's 50 points. And due tomorrow pretty much means get it done today. Because like I said, don't expect like, oh, let's go to class and do my last 25 slides. Forget it. It's not going to happen. If you come to class unprepared to have that done, you're going to be doing it sometime later in the day tomorrow if you want a full credit. Now, the first video is part 1. We watched some of these in class, not all of them. And you watch the videos, you do the assignment, and you just do your best effort to do at least 4 sentences. If it says 4 plus, most of these are 4 plus. And just put in, assume that what you're writing is for somebody who's never seen the video. So if you are, what is sociology? Well, you can put some examples from the video, just do your best and make sure you got at least 4 sentences. If you do 2 sentences, you're going to get marked down, and you can, when in doubt, put in some examples from the video or something like that. So you got this here. It's over a number of people that played a key role in the early years of sociology. And one is a review what we did from the week before. So you want to go back and see what you did for that assignment. You could do that. Another little tip here is when trying to figure out what to write about some of these, you have my permission to go into our regular notes that we're doing for the slides and look the notes up to go with each of these people and just kind of reword it a little bit, but you can use stuff from that too, even if it wasn't directly in the video. And if you get into a real bind, just look some of these people up online, some information about them, and that might help you also. So you got videos part 1. Now this week we have a videos part 2 that we did we're going to be doing some of that in class. So that would be this one right here. And we're going to be doing, we're going to do some of these in class tomorrow. And I don't know if we probably won't get to, we'll see what happens if we get to any on Friday, because Friday we're going to do the test. Now, the test that comes out Friday, which I'll get to in a moment, the people who meet in person will just do it in class. And the people who don't meet in person will have to do it at home. Either way, you get to use your notes and slides. And it's a Google form test, so it's multiple choice. And, it's more like an assignment because you get to use your notes. But I still want you to know the content, okay? So we'll be doing as much of this tomorrow in class as we can. That's the primary thing we're going to do on Thursday. This assignment here, teens and social media. Oh, that's from last week. What every teenager needs to know. This is due today. So you should have been doing this at home. If you haven't done it already, you do this today, which is Wednesday. And there's a video here. It's a TED Talk by a teenager. And there's some questions that go with it. You can click on this here, watch the TED Talk, and write a summary and write an opinion. So the summary is about things he talks about in the video. So again, you assume the person who's going to read this has not seen the video, and you're explaining to them, this student wrote about this, this, and that. And you put some examples, what he covered. That's the summary. The opinion is where you can go into your opinions about any of the topics he brings up. Now, it could be part of it can be about his presentation, what he said, and whether you agree or not. If he mentions some topic, you can talk about that topic, even if it's not necessarily about what he said. So I give you a fair amount of flexibility here to, as you start thinking about anything. It could be about directly things he said, or it could be about some of the topics he brought up that make you think of other related things. You have to share some of your opinion, some, of this here. And the student's in Saudi Arabia, but he's not Saudi Arabian. By his accent, I'm guessing he's either American or Canadian. And for those that don't know, there's a lot of international schools around the world. So a place like Saudi Arabia that has a massive oil business has all kind of people from all over the world living and working there. And that includes a lot of Americans and Canadians and Germans and Japanese and Koreans and all kind of people. So I would guess he goes to an international school in Saudi Arabia, though he's not Saudi Arabian. And he's like, by his accent, he's probably either American or Canadian. And now, what would be a little different in a culture of the school like that is that probably a lot of the families are very professional, probably a lot of engineers and scientists and business people and things like that. So it's probably more affluent, very highly educated families. And there's probably a lot of pressure on the kids to do really well in school and to go on and do successful careers in high end fields. So that would be the culture he probably is living in. So that's that assignment that if you haven't done so already, do that today. It's not hard. And then tomorrow, like I said, for those coming to C group, we'll knock out intro sociology videos 2 and wrap up the slides and the videos part 1 if they're not done. And that one there you would have done last week. And then on Friday, if you're in person, we'll do this at the beginning of the block. So you'll have as much time as you need. And pretty much any time that you have after the test, which probably a test take you like half hour or so, you can work on any of the stuff you still haven't finished. Okay. So if you got something you need to finish, that's on Friday. And we may, do some things in class together related to some of this too. So that's pretty much what's going to happen the next 2 days. Now, if you were not in class on Monday and Tuesday and you're an H group, then that's why one of the reasons I do this Zoom, so you can see what's going on and make sure you get caught up. You can always contact me with email or text if you got questions or problems or something comes up. I'm going to post the test link Friday morning, probably around 8:00 or so, thereabout. And it'll be posted. You'll come here to test, which right now there's no test link here. So you'll click on and there'll be somewhere in there, there'll be a test link. Here's the test, here's the link. I'll probably put it in the stream also on the front so make it a little easier for you to find it there too. And that'll be available all day Friday. So make sure you take the test Friday. Now that could be Friday in the morning, Friday in the afternoon. If you're virtual, you're at home or whatever, take it, at midnight if you want. I'll leave it up. Probably won't take it down till Saturday morning or something. Now, if there's something comes up Friday, you're sick, something comes up with your family, whatever, where it might be a problem taking the test on Friday, just contact me. So just give me a heads up, say, Mr. Rio, we had a death in the family. I'm going to be busy at a funeral or whatever. And, we'll discuss it and work something out. Okay. So that's pretty much what's going on. This first chapter we're doing, chapter 1, which we'll wrap up on Friday, is I call it the least interesting, most boring chapter, only because it's the fundamentals. It's what is sociology, how it fit in with other social sciences, some of the big theories and ways of thinking, like functionalism and interactionism and conflict theory. Conflict theory is where you look at a lot of sociology about conflicts between people and groups and stuff. Functionalist theories where you look at a lot of interactions as to what's the function of things, what's the function of education, what's the function of marriage, what's the function of work, what's the function of government. So you look at it from that point of view. And interactionists look a lot at just how people interact with each other in a lot of times everyday settings, everyday situations, men and women, teenagers and adults, different ethnic groups, different economic groups, people with different personalities, people from different cultures. So we're kind of looking at the big picture there. We cover quite a number of people who are fundamental to starting sociology or playing a role in what became sociology, and that includes mainly Europeans and Americans. and it goes back to the 1800s and early 1900s. So we have a number of those people in here in videos. And we, now one thing I'm not really testing on, and quite frankly not talking a lot about, though it's in the notes, is that last section of the notes. It's all about research and statistics and data. The only thing I want you to know is sociologist, it's a social science, but it uses what's called scientific methods. So when they're doing research, they don't just randomly say, well, these people do this and these people do that and whatever. They actually gather data and they do research and they collect information and they interview people and they do surveys and they, whatever it may be. And so sociologists do a lot of these scientific type methods when they're doing studies and research. And that is in the notes. I want you to be aware of that, but I don't put much on the test about that. But either way, this semester you get to use your notes. And so, do look it over, do think it through. If you ever take sociology again, which if you're college bound, you almost certainly will, they're going to be covering these same things in a college sociology class. And this class, as you already may figure out, we do cover things more like a college class. I mean, we're not doing kids' work, we're talking about adult things. We're talking about some high level thinking, some high level questions. And this is much more like a college class as far as the material that we do. The main difference of an actual college class is they would probably cover more material. Okay, especially with the pandemic, I'm not flooding with you guys with work. We would certainly do more work and do more stuff if we were meeting in person every day. But we're covering most of it. Probably about 80% of what I would normally do in a semester. So good luck. Stay caught up. Contact me with questions. Be checking in Google Classroom every day, at least Monday through Friday. Check the stream read all the announcements. Don't forget the stream here. I do put in different announcements. The Zoom meetings, like I said, if you're H group and you're in person, you probably don't really need to focus too much on Zoom meetings because you're here on Monday and Tuesday. But if you're C group or if you're absent Monday or Tuesday, this is important information for you. Okay. And if you skip it and ignore it, it's to your detriment. And then you'll be like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. And it's like, okay, your problem, your fault. Okay. So everyone's got a responsibility to keep up in a class like this. So contact me for questions. That's all I got for today. And like I said, I'll post this recording for those that were not able to be here today. So take care. Have a great day. And for those in C group, I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. And we got some snow coming in, so we'll see if that affects anything in the next couple of days. If we end up having a snow day Monday or Friday, which I don't think we will, but if we did, then you're still doing the test Friday. There's no reason you can't. Okay. Or that's what part of your, bring your school computer home and you're expected to be prepared for whatever we're doing. So if we're not doing it in person, not a big deal. You just take it at home on Friday. So, but either way, take care. Have a great day. Enjoy the sun, 34 degrees today, which is quite nice for this time of year. And it's going to get some snow coming in. And next week, it's going to get some very cold weather coming in. So we still got at least another month or so of winter. So take care and good luck.